We are following breaking news this morning about the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine. The CDC and the FDA are recommending a pause in the single-shot dose to investigate reports of potentially dangerous blood clots. This morning, Dr. Matthew Sims, the Director of Infectious Disease Research at Beaumont Health, joins us live. Dr. Sims, good morning.
Good morning.
First, tell us what happened. What do we know about what went wrong in these 6 women?
Sure. So they basically got a blood clot. But it was a rare blood clot. It's in the brain. It's called a cerebral sinus venous thrombosis. The women were all 18 to 48. They all got it within about 2 weeks of getting the vaccine. And right now, this is about a 1 in a million event. So we're not sure if this is directly related to the vaccine, indirectly related to the vaccine. We don't know what risk factors they had going into it. There's a lot more we don't know than we do know. And so rightfully, the FDA and the CDC have called a pause to investigate, to figure out, is this a problem? If it is a problem, is it so big a problem they need to stop using it? Or is it something that can be used safely in the right people? That's what we don't know yet.
Dr. Sims, talk to the people out there who, first of all, have just gotten the J&J vaccine or are sitting at home wondering, am I supposed to be checking for symptoms of this rare blood clot disorder? It sounds scary.
It is scary, and I can understand why anybody who's gotten the J&J vaccine up till this point might be worried. But as I said, right now, we've given 7 million doses or so in this country. There have been 6 cases, so it's less than 1 in a million people have gotten this side effect. We don't know yet who, is there a specific type of person who's at risk? I would be cautious on jumping the gun and worrying that, I'm definitely going to get it because I got the shot. So, the side effects, or the symptoms rather, can be like a stroke. So obviously, if you have symptoms like a stroke, you're going to go get seen at the hospital anyway. But sometimes it could just be headache, and that's a very common thing. So, if you do have a severe headache or a headache that doesn't go away, that's the time to call your doctor and find out what to do. It can also be blurring vision. That should be a time to call your doctor. And seizures, which again, you should be seen at the hospital if you have a seizure and you've never had one before. So those are the things to look out for. But again, very rare, and most of the time, a headache is just going to be a headache.
Doctor, let me just jump in and ask you just a question here to kind of put it in perspective for people. Most people are accustomed to seeing commercials on television where the side effects from a medication you take, the list of those side effects outweigh the positives of the medication, and you wonder, wow, that was a big list. So when you think about side effects like this with this Johnson & Johnson vaccine, should people just kind of take a breath here and realize that the odds are really in their favor of this being all okay?
Yeah, so that's exactly right. Again, this smaller risk, it's probably not enough to outweigh the benefit of the vaccine. I mean, not even close to enough to outweigh the benefit of the vaccine. When you think about how many people the vaccine can stop from getting COVID, how many people it can stop the spread of COVID to, and how many people who, even if they do get COVID with the vaccine, won't end up in the hospital. So the benefits of the vaccine are very clear. The risk is not as clear, and it's very, very, very rare.
Dr. Sims, somebody asked, should I start taking a baby aspirin? Is there something I can do to mitigate any severe side effects of the J&J vaccine? What do you recommend?
I don't recommend starting to do anything like that. We don't know enough yet to say why are these clots happening. So aspirin stops one part of the clotting cascade, but it doesn't stop every part of the clotting cascade. So, an aspirin may not do anything. I wouldn't recommend starting to do anything until we know more.
And doctor, just put this in perspective for us, because this is causing the ripple effect of this. It's very challenging at a time when we need people to be vaccinated to fight this pandemic. This is really difficult news. So can you help put it in perspective? And how do we send our young kids and our loved ones to go and get the vaccine when we hear reports like this?
Sure. So first thing to know, this has not been reported with Pfizer or Moderna at all. So those two vaccines, this is not a concern. There have been no major side effects like this at all reported. It has been reported, blood clots have been reported with the AstraZeneca vaccine, which is not available in the US at this time. But in Europe, they've investigated and they said there may be a very small risk of clots with the vaccine, but they did conclude that the benefits outweigh the risks in most cases. So this may end up being similar. We don't know yet. Again, the FDA and the CDC have not said we're taking it off the market, we're ending it. They've said we're calling for a pause while we have time to investigate. And again, it's less than 1 in a million people. That's extremely, extremely low odds. Most medicines on the market have side effects in that range that, if you ever read the brochure, you probably would be just as scared.
Dr. Sims, we really thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. We know this just popped up here in the last hour or so, so it's good to get that insight from you.
No, I'm happy to do it, and I'm happy to try to calm, people's worries, because I can understand why people would be worried, especially if they've gotten it. Again, all of them have happened within 2 weeks, so if you're out past 2 weeks, it looks like right now the risk is gone. They're still investigating, so there will be formal announcements, in the future about what those investigations found.
Very good. Dr. Sims, thank you as always. We appreciate you.